Hey y'all, welcome to Peyton Energetics. I'm Peyton, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Lyran starseeds. So if you know your galactic history, you know that the Lyrins are our oldest galactic family members. And the Pleiadians like to tell us that almost every human has Lyran genetics in them. So today we are going to take a look at Lyran starseeds, some of their personality traits, their characteristics, and also some of the things that Lyran starseeds can struggle with, more than maybe the average starseed. And we are also going to take a quick look at the Lyrans themselves to understand their role in galactic history and how they are relevant to us here on Earth, especially as we all move through the ascension process. So if you know your galactic history, you have probably heard that all human form in the galaxy originated in the Lyran star system. So the guides tell us that all human consciousness started with two strains or two races of beings that started all humanoid form in our galaxy. And that was the Lyrans and the Vegans. So this is the home of human consciousness in our galaxy, was the Lyran star system. So that makes the Lyrans our oldest galactic family members. Now, as the Lyrans began to grow and evolve, and of course, they were the only humanoids in the galaxy, they had a very comfortable, thriving life in the Lyran star system. But all that came to a crashing end when the Draconians attacked them in a series of very devastating wars. And these wars have left huge scars on many of our galactic ancestors. And what happened is it drove the Lyrans out of their home star system and spreading throughout the galaxy, seeking refuge, seeking a way to escape from the Draconians that were attacking them. So as the Lyrans spread throughout the galaxy and the Vegans as well, they colonized many of the other star systems that we are now familiar with, including the Sirian star system, the Pleiadian star system, the Orion system, and many more. So the Lyrans and the Vegans became the founders of all human form in the galaxy, as the Pleiadians explain it. So because of this, we can all view the Lyrans and the Vegans as our first galactic forefathers, as the forerunners of human form in our galaxy. And so that is one of the reasons why the Pleiadians like to say that nearly every human has Lyran genetics in them. So the Lyrans are where the entire story started. So that makes them a critical part of our family story as we start to reintegrate into our galactic family. And it makes the Lyrans the origin point of human consciousness in our galaxy. So now that you know a little bit about the history of the Lyrans in our galactic story, let's take a look at Lyran starseeds. What are some of the personality traits that you may notice in Lyran starseeds, some of the characteristics, some of the commonalities? And when we talk about common traits of a starseed race, we are talking about general trends. It does not mean that every member of this starseed race will share these characteristics. So you could be a Lyran starseed and not relate to any of these, and that is perfectly fine. Every starseed is completely unique, and so some starseeds may resonate with these characteristics, others may not. So as we always say in energy work, take what resonates and leave the rest. Now, some of the things that are often associated with Lyran starseeds are they tend to have what's called a freedom fighter vibe. So Lyran starseeds tend to have a bit of the personality that their Lyran ancestors had, which made them very strong, bold, brave explorers. So your Lyrans tended to be very strong in personality, very fearless, very willing to take challenges and risks. And so something that is often described of Lyran starseeds is that they appear to be reckless, but that they're not. They tend to have thoroughly researched everything they're about to do. They're just willing to do things that other people aren't. So with your Lyran starseed, you may see a tendency toward fearlessness, toward boldness, toward being willing to do what needs to be done and to push the boundaries of what is possible. So this is all very resonant with the energy that the Lyrans themselves possessed, where they were known to be fierce explorers. And part of this, of course, is they were driven out of their home, but the Lyrans were known to be very strong of personality. And this could at times push the boundary into a reputation for arrogance. But in general, the Lyrans are known as fierce explorers and fiercely independent and very powerful and self-possessed. So these are some of the characteristics that you may notice in Lyran starseeds as well. Something else that you will notice with many Lyran starseeds is they tend to be fiercely independent. So your typical Lyran starseed is not going to be a follower, not going to be a wallflower, not someone who goes along with the crowd in any way. So they are known to have a very strong sense of personality, a very strong independent streak. Something else that is often associated with Lyran starseeds is that they have a very strong reputation for being on task. So your Lyran starseed is going to very often tend to be very goal-oriented, very task-oriented. They are likely to be on point all the time. So your Lyran starseed is the one who is going to get the job done. They are also known for having a very strong work ethic. So your Lyran starseeds tend to be extremely smart, extremely quick learners, very good at mastering complex tasks. All of this comes very naturally to many Lyran starseeds. Something else that you may notice about Lyran starseeds is a tendency to be a little more reserved, a little more standoffish sometimes, and a little more keeping to themselves. So your Lyran starseed may not be that person who is sharing every detail of their life with you. They may be more of an observer, taking in everything, but not really showing their hand. So your Lyran starseed may come across sometimes as a little on the reserved side, a little more aloof sometimes, but the Lyran starseed tends to be very actively taking everything in. So you may think that they are not paying attention, but they are registering everything. So Lyran starseeds, because of their ability to execute, to get things done, to make sure that whatever needs to happen, happens, Lyran starseeds tend to make excellent leaders. They tend to have a confidence and a sense of self that is very magnetic. So they tend to attract people and earn their trust. So this makes them very natural leaders, very charismatic leaders, because they just exude a confidence that's kind of hard to come by. Something else that is a special skill of many Lyran starseeds is you may notice that if you're a Lyran starseed, that you're very precognitive. And what this means is you may know what's going to happen before it actually happens. So you may have dreams that end up coming true. You may know the answer before it comes out of someone's mouth or before you research it. So this is an interesting characteristic that seems to be a little unique to Lyran starseeds in particular. So if you are a Lyran starseed or you know a Lyran starseed, look to see whether they have this ability, this gift of what we call precognition, of knowing the answer before it's given, knowing what's going to happen before it does, because it seems to be a special gift of Lyran starseeds. So now that we have talked about some of the personality traits that you may notice in your Lyran starseeds, let's talk for a minute about how Lyran starseeds fit into the human body. Because as we have talked about in so many of these videos, one of the things that many starseeds struggle with is fitting into comfortably the physical body. And many starseed races are just not a good fit energetically for the dense physical human body. So one of the banes of existence for many starseeds is struggles with just the physical body, not feeling good, having mysterious illnesses, just being uncomfortable in general. It's just one of those signs of the starseed. So let's take a look at how Lyrans do when it comes to fitting into the physical body. Now, according to the Pleiadians, and if y'all have seen my videos, you know that I am a Pleiadian channel. So when I am sharing information, it comes from the perspective of my Pleiadian guides. So Pleiadians explain Lyran starseeds and the body in this way. They say that there's generally a scale of starseed compatibility with the human body. So the Pleiadians like to say there are some starseed races that fit very comfortably in the human physical body, and other starseed races that really have a rough time being physical. So you may see that some starseed races just really struggle to be in the physical body at all. So where do the Lyran starseeds fall on this scale? According to the Pleiadians, Lyran starseeds have one of the best fits in the human physical body of all of the starseed races. They just have a frequency that is more compatible with the frequency of the human body. So Lyran starseeds tend to be one of the rare starseeds who actually enjoy the physical body. And so they may actually love being in physical form, whereas many starseeds can't stand it. So your Lyran starseed may find that they do not mind being in a physical body at all. They tend to love the good parts of physical life. They may love the good food, the good drink. They are known to love physical activity. And the guides say that Lyran starseeds love being physical so much that they even like hard labor. They like working with their hands. They like working with their bodies. So Lyran starseeds are quite fortunate on the starseed scale that they tend to thrive in a physical human body. And they're one of the few starseed races that can say that. And Lyran starseeds in particular, because they are such a good fit for the human body, may be very athletic. So your Lyran starseed may be a gifted athlete, may be very good at anything that requires physical coordination. They may be good at any sort of physical task that they undertake. So the Lyrins, unlike many other starseed races, tend to really thrive in the physical body. And one thing that is a little unique about many Lyran starseeds is they may need more sleep than the average person. So the Pleiadians say that many Lyran starseeds will need to get 9 hours of sleep per night to function at their best. So that is one of the unique things about Lyran starseeds and the physical body is while they thrive in the physical body and may feel quite good being physical, unlike many other starseeds, they just may need more rest. They may need more time to recharge the physical body, but once they do, they have a much easier time than many of the other starseed races. So what are some things that may be passions of Lyran starseeds? What are Lyran starseeds often drawn to? Because we see certain trends in the starseed races of having certain favorite activities or certain things that that star race is particularly drawn to. So one of the things that the Lyrins are very much known for loving is cats. So the Lyran beings are known in their original form to have been created by advanced feline species, according to some of the guides. And so that may translate to Lyran starseeds sharing this love of cats, of all things feline. Lyran starseeds are also known for being very much lovers of music. So if you are a Lyran starseed, you may be very drawn to music, whether that is making your own, listening to it, or participating in any way you can. So one of the symbols for the Lyrins is actually the harp. So Lyrins tend to be very musically attracted, very drawn to anything musical, and are often very gifted musically themselves. And finally, the Lyrans are often very drawn to agriculture, to sustainable practices on the planet. This was something that the Lyrans in their original home planet, in their original home star system, were known for being very gifted with sustainable agriculture. So the Lyran starseeds may find that they have an interest in nature, in gardening, in saving the environment, in promoting sustainable practices. And this again would go back to the origins of the Lyrans in their home star system, where they were known as being very gifted with sustainable agriculture. So these are a couple of the things that you may notice about Lyran starseeds. If you are a Lyran starseed, let me know in the comments what else would you list as a strength of Lyran starseeds, and what have some of the struggles been for you as a Lyran starseed helping the ascension process here on Earth. Drop that in the comment box below, and while you're down there, don't forget, hit the subscribe button and the like button if you haven't done that yet. So I hope this has helped you to understand the Lyrans a little better and their role in our galactic history, and get to know their starseeds better as well. I hope this has helped you. I'll see you soon. Bye.